Hello, everyone, and welcome to Community Theater. It is my pleasure to introduce Sylvain here that will be speaking on transforming education for the next generation of software engineers. A very exciting topic. Also, I think you have a bunch of people in the audience that are wearing the same outfit as you. Super cool. Cheering section. Always bring your cheering section if you're speaking at a conference, by the way. I'll let you take it away. Please help me in welcoming him to the stage.
Thank you. Can you hear me well? Back row is good? All right. Today I'm going to tell you about how we are changing software engineering education and how Docker is helping us to do that. I'm Sylvain Kalache. I'm the co-founder of Holberton School. So first of all, I'm going to tell you about what's Holberton School. We are a college alternative training software engineer. It's a 2-year program that's completely free until you find a job. So basically, students go through the program, they don't pay anything, and only if and when they find a job, then they will share a percentage of their salary for 3 years. There is no prior knowledge or degree required to enter Holberton School. It's open to anyone over 18, and it's a very different type of education. It's project and peer-based education, meaning that we have no formal lectures, we have no formal teachers. Students learn by working on projects in groups. I'm going to come back to this later in the talk, but you have to understand that this is very different from a regular boot camp or a regular university, right, where you have a teacher bringing you the knowledge and then you have a test. At Holberton, it's the opposite. We give students a test, and then we empower them to learn the tool, acquire the knowledge that they need to achieve that. It's in-person education. Yes, old school, not online. We use a lot of technology, but we are in person. We have a campus in San Francisco. If you want to check it out, you can reach out to us on Twitter or come talk to me after the talk, and we can arrange a tour. As you can see, the space is very different from a regular school or university. We have no classroom, but meeting space, collaboration spaces. Come check it out. So the curriculum of Holberton is split into 2 main parts. The first part is the fundamentals, where we start with low-level programming. Students do a lot of C, data structure, algorithm, all that good stuff. Then we get them to learn how to build web applications, and finally how to manage your infrastructure with the necessary curriculum. And on top of this, we think that good software engineers are good with hard skills, the coding skills, but amazing software engineers are good with soft skills. Collaboration, public speaking, technical writing, communication, everything that will make you a good team player, a leader, right? Being able to help others to achieve their job. And the second part of the curriculum is the specialization part. We have a number of them, including AR, VR curriculum, machine learning, and on-the-job training, etc. So Holberton School is supported by a number of tech leaders, including LinkedIn CEO Jeff Weiner, Upwork CEO, actually Solomon Hykes. The founder of Docker is on our board of trustees and is an investor. We make sure that our curriculum is relevant for the world of today and the world of tomorrow. And you may see the singer and the actress and actor Priyanka Chopra, and you'll be like, what the hell are these people doing with Holberton School, right? It might be kind of weird. Well, Holberton School is really pushing for quality education, but we want to make this opportunity accessible to the most, right? And so to do so, we are working with celebrities who have a large audience in demographics that are generally underrepresented in the tech industry. So Neo and Priyanka, who are all about bringing opportunity to their community, are helping us to achieve that and make sure that their audience and their platform knows that there is this type of education. Again, it's debt-free education. You don't need any prior experience or knowledge, open to anyone over 18. So let me tell you why we created Holberton School. So it was created by Julian Barbier right here, my co-founder, who actually used to work for Docker before that. And I was working at LinkedIn at the time. And as you know, it's very hard to hire high-quality software engineer, right? We are all struggling with that. And so we are doing a lot of interviews. And we noticed a pattern with college graduates. They all study half a decade of their life. They all look pretty much like me, white dude with a beard. They had a lot of student debt. And they were not really prepared to take on a job. You can see that they knew stuff, but not really the type of skills and knowledge that you need today in the industry. And we also created Holberton School to avoid that. And actually, this tweet was posted yesterday, and I was like, that's perfect for my talk. There is a huge spike of interest from students to enter software, right? It's a really exciting industry. It's pushing, what we can do, like the boundaries of what we can do. It's very well paid. And so a lot of students want to get into the industry. The issue with classic education is that it's relying on quality teacher, right? And as you know, it's very hard to find quality software engineer. It's very hard to find quality teacher. So now imagine how hard it is to find a combination of both. And on top of this, most of the time they are like underpaid compared to working in the classic tech companies. And so at Holberton School, we solved that, right? Because again, we have no formal teachers. We basically are able to provide this high quality education without limitation. So if you know Julian, you can let him know and his friends that we are happy to welcome them, and they don't have to wait in the hallway for someone to help them. So I'm gonna, now that you know what Holberton School is doing and who we are serving, I'm gonna tell you more about actually how it works and how we are using Docker containers for that. And for each of the points, I'm gonna focus on three main topics. How do we make this quality education scalable? How do we make it accessible and fair? And finally, how do we increase velocity for our students and for ourselves as a school? So first thing first, the admission process. It's fully automated, right? Everything is software, and we have only one person taking care of it. And with that, we were able to assess 25,000 candidates. Obviously, if you would do this with people manually reading things, it would take you like a team. And because it's fully automated, so the way it works is we assign a container to every candidate, and we simulate a Holberton School type of project. And what they need to do as a candidate is to build their first website. It's very simple, few HTML pages, some JavaScript, put some picture and some HTML header and manage a server. Again, you don't need any prior experience. But what's amazing about that is that there is no human bias, right? With Julian, we wanted to make sure that, how do you make sure that you are not discriminating against people? And the thing is, with human, we really can't. It's in our DNA, right? It's very hard to remove this bias. So we remove the human bias by removing the human and only using software. And it works amazingly. And also, there is no bribes possible, right? We've seen this lately in the news, admission scandal. Lot to be said about that, but basically this is something that cannot happen at Holberton School. Students, whoever they are, get in because they are the most motivated and the most talented for this type of education. So that's the type of students that come to Holberton School. We don't have a kind of what the typical Holberton School student. We have a very wide variety of students. 35% of them are women. More than 50% of them are people of color. The age goes anywhere from 18 to 57. Yes, it is possible. And they come from all walks of life. Many of them just finished high school, who have college dropout or graduate, people who used to be cooks, teacher, veteran, barista, you name it. So now let's get into the training, right? One of the most important parts. So our education is software-led. And I'm going to talk more about this later. But basically, again, no lectures, no formal teachers. I'm never going to tell you, hey, you sit here for 2 hours, I'm going to tell you how to create a loop. It's not working like that. The way it works is that we provide students projects that are very easy at the beginning, and the more we go, the harder they become, right? And they learn concepts by doing so. And it's community-led, meaning that they are always expected to work as a group. Helping is not cheating. Helping is collaboration, right? Like in any company, successful companies, it's because of successful teams, not successful individuals, right? In regular school, when you help a classmate, you cheat. No, it's not this way. So students don't give the answer to each other, but they guide each other, like they help each other. Hey, like if you are stuck on there, maybe you could check this part of the documentation. Did you check this concept and so on? And so by doing so, not only they become software engineers, but also they learn how to learn, right? And for all of you who are in the software industry, you know how this is critical to be thriving as a software engineer, or pretty much any professional now in your world, right? Like yesterday it was servers, and then it was virtual machine, now it's containers. What's going to be next, right? Something is going to come next. And so learning how to learn allows our students to be, basically stay relevant all along their career. So, I told you about this intranet, and we give projects to students. And then we have what we call a checker. A checker is a piece of software that we built internally that basically allows students to get their work graded. So we built a DSL, our own kind of programming language, where we can basically write tests, such as, is the software working? Is it handling edge cases? Is it documented? Is it optimized? And all sorts of things. For SRE, is the web server up? Does it return 200, right? And then you can get very creative with that. So the first step for students to get their job check is to write the code, right? And then they push it to their GitHub account. That also makes a great portfolio for when they are looking for a job. And then on the intranet, they push a button, and they basically say, check my code. And that will trigger our checker system to pull the code from their GitHub account, put it in a Docker container, and apply the series of tests. For every test, we spin up a new container, and every test is tied to a skill. So by the end of the students' time at Holberton School, we have literally thousands of data points about how they perform. And so once the container performs the text, then they return the results to the intranet, and the students can see it. We have a lot of students, and they write a lot of code. And so the checker actually goes through about 10 million lines of code every week. That's a lot. If you put it in another perspective, that's about 500 million lines of code every year. So we did the math just for fun. If you were to print this on A4 paper and stack it up, it would be 3 Trans-America towers. That's quite a lot. So once the students get in, and they go through the checker, we want to make sure that the assessment of their work is fair, right? And so by using this checker, based on leveraging Docker container, we make sure that there is no favoritism, right? In regular school, the teacher may be like, oh, I like this student, I'll put some more additional point, or I don't like that student, I'll lower its grade or grade. It also avoids human mistakes. Like we as humans are not good at repetitive tasks. And it allows students to work at their own rhythm. Maybe they like to work in the morning, maybe they want to work in the evening, and so the teacher, or at least the thing that's correcting their work, is always available for them. It also provides an instant correction. In regular education, you have to wait a trimester to know where you stand in your work, right? And then you may work hard for 3 months, and then you'll be like, damn, actually I'm completely out of scope, I don't know anything, and I need to start over. The checker gives you instant feedback on your work. And so also for a point of, for the school, it's also allow us to see, directly if a student is doing well, if a cohort is doing well, if a school is doing well. Now we have multiple schools, and iterate on the curriculum or help the students if needed. And the last thing that we do with Docker container, which I think is pretty cool, and back when I was a student, I wish I had, we have a container on demand feature. So students are developing on different environments, C, Python, SRE, whatever it is. And sometimes you just screw up your environment and you're like, God damn it, I need to start from scratch. If it's a VM, it takes forever to launch, and then maybe you have your script to split it up, and it's a mess. So we provided at a click, you can get a container instantly and get back on your project. And that definitely increases the velocity of our training and allow our students to learn quickly. So you may be like, yeah, that's cool, Sylvain, like all of these things, but does it actually work? Yes, it does. These are some of the companies that our students are working at. We have Amazon, Google, Facebook, Tesla, Apple, LinkedIn, name it, and also Docker. Yes, we have students working and contributing to Docker. And in terms of number, well, I think they are pretty good. 100% of the students will finish a program, find a job 3 months after graduation, and the average starting salary is over 100,000. Pretty good. All right, so now you know how the student getting, who we are serving, how do we train them. But we want to make this, as I was saying, this opportunity accessible to the most. And so we started the school with Julian in 2016 with 30 students. Since then, we grow to 500 students in 2019. And what's really cool with the education we built is that we were able to provide the same quality of education. And actually even better, right? Because it's software-based, we have data points, and basically we can correlate how students did during the application process, how are they doing during the curriculum, and how do they perform in the workplace. And we want to bring really this opportunity to the many and anywhere. So we started in San Francisco in 2016. And this year, we opened 3 new campuses, one on the east coast of the US in Connecticut, and 2 in Colombia, in Bogota and Medellin. And that's pretty much where we want to go. Oh, I forgot north as well. So as you see, we are really ambitious, and we really want to bring this this Silicon Valley grade education anywhere in the world, right? And because the admission process is very accessible, no upfront tuition, a lot of people who otherwise may not have access to high quality education, now they can. But one thing is really important. How do you make sure that your quality of education is the same anywhere? Be it on the West Coast, on the East Coast, in Colombia, or on Mars, right? Well, that's very easy for us to do because everything is software. We get all this work, go through Docker container, and then we have data points. So we can literally see the progress of a student, of a cohort, of a school, of a country, right? And if the train is not going as expected, then we can reach out to the staff and make some adjustments if needed. So we really are able to bring this high quality education and make sure the quality remains the same anywhere. All of this is possible thanks to an amazing team. Our software team is doing an amazing job at building all these tools. So I wanted to give a shout out to our amazing team for the work that they are doing. You can find them on Twitter. I put their handle below. And if you come to the school, if you want to tour the school, I'm happy to make introduction. So high quality education is possible. And with Docker and Holberton, we are really changing the way that high quality education is happening. And we hope to continue to train many more software engineers, one container at a time. Thank you.